Hey guys, welcome to Common Investor. Today we're going to be evaluating Airbnb and seeing if this stock is worth buying or something we should skip and instead look at other opportunities. To do this, we need three simple pieces of information: revenue, number of outstanding shares, and profit margin. So for revenue, for the last 12 months, its revenue has been $10.5 billion. All right, let's add that in there. Number of outstanding shares. Let's take a look at that. As of right now, its number of outstanding shares are 0.6, almost 650 million. So we'll go ahead and put that in there. As of right now, Airbnb has a profit margin of 9%. Or if you go for the last 12 months, it is 15. So we'll just say right about stock market analysis on this. In my personal opinion, and this is just my opinion, even though most analysts think that it's only going to grow about 10% a year, in my personal opinion, I think it can double in the next 5 years. Now, that won't be consistent. It won't be like 20, 20, 20 for the next 5 years. But I think you'll have a year where it does 10, another year where it does 30. But when you do the 5-year accumulation, it's going to be double from what it is now. Because of that, I'm going to say it's going to grow 100%. Now, shares outstanding, what I like to see is that number decreasing. And it has been. If you take a look at Airbnb, it hit a peak of 684 million shares. And to now dropping it down to 600 and almost 50 million. So I think that number will continue to decrease. I don't think it'll be too much. So I'll say it'll decrease the number of outstanding shares by 3%. Now, this company is very well positioned. It's in a great market, and the number one thing is it doesn't have to own any physical asset. It basically provides the platform for which people can list their own assets, and it just charges a fee for those services. So I think its profit margin is gonna be ridiculous, and I think the stock will reflect in the future. So I think a 27 PE is not that unreasonable for a company like this. Profit margin, if we look at most companies that provide platform as a service, it's around 30%, but we'll be a little conservative and say we'll give it 25%. So based off of my analysis, 5 years from now, Airbnb will be worth about $225. Versus if you spent that same money in the S&P 500 today, in 5 years from now, it'll be worth $206. So according to my analysis, I don't think this company is worth investing in right now. I think it needs to have a significant drop. Perhaps if it hits to $100, then it's worth buying. I think most people should have bought this stock when it was at 113 if you're really interested. But right now, you're only doing 13% better than the S&P 500, which isn't a lot over 5 years. You're only going to do 13% better than the S&P 500 over the next 5 years. That's not a risk worth taking for me personally. So I would skip this stock for now, but I would keep an eye on this. If there's a pullback, perhaps something happens, it does a negative quarter, something geopolitics happen, and it gets a pullback. But if you're really hell bent, don't invest a lot into it. Do an amount that is very reasonable that you're okay losing. So I would do, like, maybe if you were thinking of buying, like maybe if you're thinking of investing $1,000, perhaps you should invest $300, a very small portion just so you have it. And when it dips, then go back into it. But anyways, guys, I hope you like this analysis. I hope you like my video. Please hit that like button, follow button, and most importantly, please consider subscribing to my Patreon.